Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, and welcome to World of Warships for a battle today in the Normandy. Yes, the Normandy. A fantastic battleship on the French research tree, and one of my sort of favourite ships for just taking out. I do like the Normandy and the Leon, actually. The Leon is pretty good. They are very strong ships with some serious firepower on board. As you can see, you have three super firing turrets. So 3 turrets on the ship, and that makes for 12 340mm guns. So some serious firepower there. The ship is also made up of secondary guns as well, this being a sort of First World War era battleship. Sort of the earliest dreadnoughts in their style. So built in 1913, I think, the Normandy. And it's one heck of a fun ship, as I said. Now, today we're at a bit of a disadvantage because we're at a very low tier. We're fighting ships that are much superior to us. We are only tier 5? Tier 5? I hate Roman numerals. I hate Roman numerals so much. And so we're not the big dogs. We're actually I think we're the lowest tiered battleship in the matchup, and that really does affect us a bit because obviously we're not going to be as strong. We're not going to be as useful per se as some of the later battleships, such as the Leon and the. On their team, of course, they've got the Gascoigne, which is the French premium battleship, if I remember my ships correctly. And, well, you do feel a little bit old when you're in a French ship like this, because it is just that little bit, sort of, a little bit of an earlier design. It's not quite as strong as some of the other ships in the line. You know, you've got things like the Gascoigne, which of course is 2 ranks higher than you, and basically on the same level as the Richelieu, of course, but a premium version of it. And it's you start noticing, basically. Also, you do lack some AAA. So right here we're just shooting at the Indianapolis because, well, Indianapolises are made of citadels. Let's see if we get any lucky hits there. No citadels, but 4,000 damage. We will take that happily. So we've got a Leon with us, of course, which is our bigger sister, so to say. And the team's doing pretty well. We're sort of working quite well together. But their enemy aircraft carriers are doing a heck of a better job for us. So this Leon is sort of blocking my path a little bit now as we're going through. I want to try and get behind those islands, and unfortunately this Leon's just decided to sort of sail a little bit in a straight line, but it's finally turning. There we have the Perth, the ANZCAR class ship, of course, HMAS Perth. And the Perth's quite a good little boat, but it lacks a heel. And that can really affect you in these matches because, well, heals are very, very handy to have. And, yeah, when you're fighting a battle like this, you know, you do need that sort of health regeneration sometimes, especially in the British cruisers. So just looking around, seeing what else is going on. It looks like this flank is mainly made up of myself, the Leon, and a Z23, sorry. Which is not so good for us because, well, the enemy aircraft are obviously going to come for us because we don't have the best anti-aircraft systems, neither me or the Leon. We are the lowest sort of tier battleships in the match. Our friendly battleships are on the other side. As you can see, the Fuso, Scharnhorst are over on the other side. We have a Badioin coming to sort of see us, and there's a Baltimore just sort of floating out in the middle of the map, just doing not much to really help. So right now we're watching the Perth. We send off a few rounds and see if they hit. Of course, we did get a citadel on the Perth prior, so that was nice. Big hits there, 4,000 damage. We will take that. 1 over penetration. Now, this flank is basically being held by me and me and the Leon. The Bun-Leon and the Z-23 can kind of work a little bit, but we've got to watch out because we've got to be careful of their destroyers. Because well, if their destroyer comes down this way, we're going to be a little bit screwed. They also have the Gneiser now coming this way as well on their team, so it looks like their battleships are coming this way. And that's unfortunate for us because, one, their aircraft carriers know where we are and are going to keep harassing us. And two, we have a couple of very big ships to fight. The Gneiser now, of course, being the Scharnhorst class, and there's Gascoigne as well. And there is another Normandy as well on this side of the flank. And there's the Perth. So they have got a lot of ships on this flank that are very dangerous to us. We really need to be careful. Because if we are caught with our pants down, we're going to be taken out pretty quickly. The Leon decides, well, it's better to try and head inland a bit. I'm right here on the outside of this flank. Get a nice lucky hit on the Perth there with just an over penetration. But that is a major threat taken out of the game because, of course, the Perth can lay smoke. Now they don't have a smoke screen sort of for their forces. Now one of our carriers is actually sending a few planes this way, but most of the carrier battle's heading over onto the left-hand side of the map, and we're not really getting much support from our carrier group, which is a bit frustrating at times. With two Ryujos, of course, they're not putting their fighter groups where we need them. They're not sort of offering as much support as they could do. And we're getting some planes coming in, some rocket attack fighters coming in, that we managed to see them off a little bit. Now, the Normandy seems to be heading off, but now the Gneiser now seems to be heading in. And the Gneiser now can be a very dangerous ship, of course. The same caliber of gun on her as the Bismarck, of course. The 403mm, I think it is. Main guns in dual turrets. So, some serious firepower on board. We don't want to really take a broadside from that ship. But there's also the Gascoigne on this side as well. Of course, German battleships usually have turtleback armour, so it can be a little bit hard to penetrate with plunging fire. So we can be in a bit of a spot here. Now we're going to be firing our AP shells at them and not switching to HE, which could pay off for us. If we get some penetrations, those AP shells are going to do the damage. Of course, if we used HE shells, we would get some decent fires on board, but we wouldn't get the damage numbers we probably need. There's one penetration, so some nice big damage for us there. We're trying to sort of hit just on the edge of the superstructure, just around that area. Two more penetrations, nice big damage numbers. That's what we need to be doing. But the enemy aircraft carriers are playing a fantastic match and sending in their torpedo bombers on me now. So there's going to be torpedoes coming my way. I've got to really be careful. And of course, the other thing with the Gneiser now is it has torpedoes. So we sink the Gneiser now. So we've got the Perth and the Gneiser now down. That's a good job. But torpedoes are incoming. Now I managed just to miss the one off of my bow, but I have to take one in the mid of my ship. But luckily, it hits the torpedo protection sector. So we're a little bit protected from that. Now that's coming in again, so there's a second flight. Gneiser now's torpedoes just missed. Very, very close here. Are we going to miss those torpedoes? No, we get a hit and into our engine. So we're not sinking at least, but we have got some serious damage on board. And this is where the lack of support from our carriers is really hurting this flank. Obviously, if we lose this flank, our team could be in some serious trouble. We just miss another torpedo drop there. But the Gascoigne is coming in. Now the Gascoigne, of course, is a sorry, I said it was the Richelieu. Of course, it's not. Is it? It's can't remember what the Gascoigne is, but it's it's got two turrets, one at the front, one at the back. A very strong ship, and of course, it's got some very big guns on board. It's also a much higher tier than us, so we're going to have to go into a gunfight with the Gascoigne in a Normandy. this doesn't work out in maths because that ship has a lot more hit points than us. As you can see, it's got 55,000 hit points at the moment. That's more than our actual total hit points of our ship. You know, so the ship is already at a serious advantage. Now we can see one of their carriers there has taken some damage, the Furious, but we don't really have time to sort of send some shots at that. We're going to have to try and hit this Gascoigne. So I'm trying to get some shots into the turret at the moment, and possibly the superstructure. We're just going to send one salvo at the Furious over there just in case. Another salvo just into the Gascoigne and 2 penetrations. That's what we want to see. But we are at a big disadvantage. Look at the amount of aircraft coming our way. Look at the ship that's so close. We're now getting into secondary range. Now, the Gascoigne doesn't have as many secondaries as us. And this might be the area where we get some advantage. But of course, being this close means that the Gascoigne can do some serious damage to us. If it used AP shells, it's going to punch through our our armoured belts, much like I just did to him. 4 over penetrations and 4 penetrations. Serious damage. Torpedoes incoming from the Bardiogne. I'm not sure I'm a bit too far away, but it is getting closer. Bardiogne is sending in some help. We're not going to be able to take much more. We send off one last salvo before we sink. And we're down, but we do get 3 penetrations and shave off another vast amount of health for the Gascoigne. Now the Gascoigne, of course, is at a disadvantage because, well, the Gascoigne now, if we can actually move the camera, hasn't got its guns on target on the Bardiogne, but it does have torpedoes. So the Bardiogne has managed to take the Gascoigne out as our ship slowly submerges underneath the water. For some reason my movements aren't working. So I just thank him there, Maxi. Nice little job. Managed to help out and support me. Unlike the Baltimore over there, which was hiding away. But we've managed to secure this flank. And this is going to allow our team to finish off the enemy. The Chapiev over there is not looking healthy, and down it goes. There's the enemy Ryujo over there, which has full health. And why isn't this working? The Ryujo over there is running low on health. As you can see, it's going to start getting some serious damage done to it, and this match is as good as done. But there is a destroyer somewhere, so we've got to find that destroyer and take it out if possible, because that could of course be a bit of a game changer. But this far in, the destroyer is found, taken out relatively easy by the Algier, and now it's just chewing some hit points off of that aircraft carrier. So that was the match. So let's head to the post-battle screen results. And with that, despite the battle being lost, the war was won in that game. So sorry about that. My desk has just decided to clunk. So with that, we had a fantastic match there. We ended up actually finishing 3rd out of all of the players. So top 3, that's never a bad thing. The Ryojo managed to get 1st place. Turpitz 2nd, and myself 3rd. A few players on our team, I would say this guy here, didn't really do much to the cause. As you probably, as I said in that match, the fact that our carriers weren't really supporting us hurt me a lot. I reckon if I'd actually had some carrier support, could have actually taken that Gascoigne down without too much issue. But, well, that's speculation. Detailed report, we can see 20,000 done to the Ganaja now, 19 to the Perth, 36, almost 37 to the Gascoigne, 8 to the Indianapolis. Amazingly, no Citadels on that, and 1 plane shot down from the Furious. We did manage to shoot down a few other planes through there as well. shoot down 3 of the Gascoigne's planes. So yeah, 4 in total. So all in all, pretty good game there. So 341,000 credits, 5k research points, or RP in general, and then a little bit of free experience as well. 85,000 damage, not bad at all. 1 Citadel, 58 hits from our main gun, 41 from our secondaries. So pretty much a good game, in fact. And then if we look at credits and XP, we can see, because we're luckily running a premium account today, spent 31,000, so 308,000 credits. Let's just head back to port on that one, and I think we should have a trophy to open up. Let's just double check that one. No, not enough experience. Oh drat, we almost got there, but we did at least get an extra point for Mr. Louis Sauter, the captain of the ship. So now we can finally get a 3rd line set up. Now with the Normandy, because she's a bit of a lower tier battleship, I would sort of go for secondary focus on my French ships, because they tend to have good secondary guns. It's sort of one of those things of like, oh, what should I go for with this one, because there's so many different options. Of course, basic firing training means 10% to reload time of your secondaries, and a little bit of a boost to your long-range AA mounts. So AA is quite useful, as you saw in that match. Superintendent, honestly, it's not worth it for this, because you're only going to get an extra charge on your heal. You're probably not going to need 4 charges. Demolition Expert, again, we're not going to be using HE much. Vigilance, that can be useful, I guess, for dodging torpedoes. But I think, in all honesty, we're going to go for the probably going to go for basic firing training, just to increase the AA on this, because it's just going to help a little bit, because the ship's not got the best AA defense there is, but it will help a little bit on that area. So we'll add an extra point there to him, and as you can see, the Normandy, as she sits there, not the best AA defense in the world, mainly sort of short to mid-range AA, not much long-range stuff. So not terrible, but you know, not great in all honesty. But the secondaries are quite handy. So if we look at our secondary guns now on our artillery, you can see that we have 18 139mm guns ready to fire, and a 5.3 kilometer range is not bad at all for secondaries. So yeah, all in all, that was a pretty damn fun match. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.